Right back here is one of my favorite items in this whole storage unit. Let me move this stuff out of the way and I'll show you. Hey guys, if you watched my two previous videos, you already know that I bought 3 storage units and I paid $4,000 for all of them. Yesterday I did a deep dive into the first storage unit, and today we're going to do a deep dive into this one. So just like the first unit, this is a 10 by 40, and I've already kind of gone through and thrown out some of the trash, and here's some more trash right here. And I've tried to organize it a little bit. I know it doesn't really look like it, but at least now I can walk all the way to the back. This one was just completely packed with furniture, and it still is. And in the back there, the furniture was stacked, I mean, like almost all the way to the ceiling. There's a lot of chairs. I mean, a lot of chairs. Probably, I don't know, 40, 50 chairs, something like that. A lot of mid-century modern stuff. Some funky stuff, too. Like, this is an old baby stroller, and it has wood panels on the side, which I think is interesting. Haywood Wakefield buggy. Looks like he was asking $175. Here's some metal hubcaps. These are for an Oldsmobile. Right back here is one of my favorite items in this whole storage unit. Let me move this stuff out of the way and I'll show you. This is an old Zenith TV, and it is actually in pretty good condition. The screen is fine. The knobs seem to be in working order. That thing is just really cool. Here's an old scooter. Also in pretty good condition considering the age. There's Marilyn just hanging out back there. So some of the stuff here was actually in that unit next door, but I just moved it over to save some space. And one thing is this old fan, old air flight fan, just has a really cool look to it. Looks like the back cover of it is gone and they just put up like some kind of chicken wire or something, but I'm hoping that it still works. This old bell was over there. Here's an old tea cart that was over there. Not in the best condition, unfortunately, but it's very pretty. Walk back over here and show some other stuff to you guys. Step over the bags of trash. This piece back here is very cool. This is an old movie projector with sound. Bell & Howell D4. I was having a hard time getting this cracked open, but I saw similar comps of projectors with sound for like $150, so I thought that was pretty neat. All right, I'm gonna open up some of these boxes and show you guys some of this stuff. Oh, these were kind of neat. There's some old like hummingbird music boxes. Senkyo. Sing a song over the rainbow. I don't know if these are worth a lot. Should probably just sell the whole box lot to somebody as one price type deal. Been finding a handful of die-cast cars in these. Here's an old Corvette, and then up here, old NASCAR cars, some Star Wars figures. I know I've got a box of die-cast somewhere else. Here we go. Underneath these casters, there's 3 or 4 more die-cast cars. Dale Sr. This one's pretty cool. Hess SUV and motorcycles. There was not as much jewelry in this unit. Maybe 3 or 4 boxes. Here's a big box of it right here. This is kind of neat. Here's a hubcap clock that somebody made. And of course, there's some Beanie Babies in here. What storage unit would be complete without some Beanie Babies? There's a couple of pull cues. I haven't even opened these up yet. Haven't dealt too much in old pull cues. Here's some more Beanie Babies down here. This is some kind of picnic basket or something right here. Old cookie cutters. Metal letters, kind of neat. Some kind of coffee pot. Hoko made. It's got a neat look to it. Allied Van Lines truck. These Beanie Babies are a little bit different. These are state coin Beanie Babies. Got the quarter down at the feet. Probably not worth more than 25 cents, I would say. More cast iron in this unit. This piece right here is pretty cool. 3 skillets. Here's another cast iron skillet down here. Here's a cool piece right here. Some kind of old pulley system. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what it was used for. Myers OK Unloader. Got some rust, but the bones are in okay shape. Made out of Ashland, Ohio. This whole tote pretty much is just full of playing cards. Probably not a lot of value, but I did think it was interesting that he just had so many different playing cards. Here's some more Christmas ornaments. There's his antique booth prices. Old angel tree topper. Some mega blocks. There's some more old toys in here. Some old trains. A little drum. Howdy Doodie's Christmas. Castle Films. That's pretty cool. 16mm. It's an umbrella holder. Some old canes. Nice old stereo back here. Tons and tons of furniture. Here's a smoking stand. End tables, chairs. A lot of this stuff is buried, unfortunately, so it's just going to be sitting there until I can get to it. A lot of old tools and toolboxes. Some Vera Bradley purses. Old books and newspapers. There's some more old cars. I break for Smurfs. Miniature playing cards. Old Jeep. A G.I. Joe toy. I've got a lot of these type of chairs. Vintage metal folding chairs. To be honest, I'm not sure if there's a market for these. I might have to put out some ads and get some feelers, but they might just end up being scrap for the metal. Here's some old Life magazines. I've actually sold a few lots of these and they seem to do well. I think people like to pull out the advertising out of them and sell the advertising separately. Some old radios. Here is Silvertone. This is a new reproduction radio. More old books. This whole thing up here is full of old Christmas ornaments. He had gone to the trouble of individually pricing each one with his antique booth tags. $7.99. Seashell hand-blown Czech Republic. I'm definitely not going to try to sell these individually. Just try to sell the whole lot. Plenty of lamps in here. Definitely no shortage of lamps in these units. Here's some Coke trays. Well, actually, this one's Gold Seal Vineyards. I have seen a handful of Coke ones. Definitely reproduction. Still has some pretty cool graphics, though. What is in here? Old rabbit wind-up toy. There's a lot of old pots and pans in both units. Let's see, what is this? B&M, made in Portugal. To be honest, I don't know what that is. Lots of glassware, nothing too crazy there. Here's some more old magazines underneath these picture frames. Post, I think there's some Life ones down there. Here's a battery. Bass Pro Shops Power Series Deep Cycle 175. I assume this is used, which means I probably can't sell it. I wouldn't know what the heck to even do with this thing. And a little bit of clothing in here. This is a fur coat, Henig, H-E-N-I-G. Says New York and Montgomery. A couple old jackets. Dry clean commercially. Let's see if there's a brand anywhere on this thing. Paul Scott, New Rochelle. And then here's a leather jacket. I always check pockets in any kind of old clothing I find. You just never know what's going to be in there. Let's see what this tag says. Size 40. Can't seem to find a brand. I don't think that's a good sign. A couple boxes of just miscellaneous vintage stuff. Some old candlesticks. Let's see, what is this? A miniature microscope. Fluger fly reel. A couple of reels down in this box, it looks like. There's a Shakespeare. Fine fishing tackle. 1837 True Art. It's in good shape and it's got the owner's manual in there too. Domino sugar. Party cake. Here's an old slide rule. Sold a handful of these. Old mid-century modern light shade. Images of Maryland book. I think this guy liked Marilyn Monroe just a little bit. Let's see, what's in these shoe boxes? I forget now. Old wooden nickels. Major reproductions, I think. Cincinnati, Northwest Territory. 150th anniversary. Souvenir wooden nickels. Maryland lunchbox. Maryland book. Yeah, he definitely liked Marilyn Monroe. Here's another shoebox. Vintage Fire King cups and saucers. It's kind of neat. Back here I've got two big totes completely full of Apollo ware. Basically just like some kind of vintage plastic plates and stuff. It is Melmac Apollo ware by Alexander Barna, and there is a lot of this stuff. So this tote has like all the plates and stuff, and then this tote has smaller plates, bowls, and there's a box somewhere that I know has all the cups and everything. I think it's these over here actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so here's like bowls, teacups, and it is just all that Melmac Apollo ware. This box has it, this box has it. An old Ritz cracker can. Kind of porcelain and enamelware, like reproduction. Just a little random Hot Wheel car. This glassware is kind of funky. I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to try to go through this furniture a little bit with you guys. The amount of furniture in here is incredibly overwhelming. There's a lot of it, and if you guys have tried to move furniture before, you probably know it's not the easiest thing to sell just because it's big, bulky, and just a little bit tricky. Whenever my antique mall opens back up, I'm definitely going to open a second antique booth just for big furniture pieces, you know, chairs, tables, cabinets, all that stuff. And then hopefully I find some local people too that deal in this stuff, because I got to move it. I don't want to, you know, pay storage on this stuff for so long. There are some nice pieces. This right here is an old kitchen cabinet with a porcelain top, and the bones of it are in pretty good shape. It's still got the caster wheels, has a really nice look to it. Could use a paint job, but I'm probably not going to be investing the time to really redo any of this furniture. There's a handful of really nice tables. No dining room tables or anything like that, but there's some nice end tables. This one's got some interesting legs on it. Handful of wicker pieces. I know wicker can do all right. I'm not sure if I've got any kind of cushion for this or not, but I think it would still sell the way it is. And then some of the pieces I think I'm probably just going to have to donate, like fabric chairs like this. I don't know if there's a market. If you guys have dealt with these kind of old chairs and you've had luck selling them, you know, let me know in the comments below kind of what your trick is. But I can see at least 1, 2, 3, 4 chairs, 5 that I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with those. This is a cool piece right here. It's kind of dark. You guys might not be able to see. Shine a light on it for you. This is a metal table. Just a little bit of rust on there at the bottom, but that should clean up. It's got wheels too. I've moved a couple of those before and they've done all right. A couple bookshelves in here. This one's got a pretty cool look to it. I think some of that stuff should do okay in the booth. I've had better luck selling smaller furniture pieces over the years, like little end tables like this. Here's another kitchen cabinet. Looks like some of the paint's peeling, so we might just be able to knock that off a little bit. But that should do okay. That's got a nice porcelain top to it as well. The chairs will be very, very tricky because I think some of them I've got pairs for, some of them are just individual. I don't really know that I've got, you know, full dining sets of like 4, 6, 8 chairs, anything like that. So the chairs might take a while to sell. I really like this end table up here. That has got a very cool vintage look to it. There's a couple office furniture pieces, and depending on the brand, sometimes I've done all right selling those. But like condition wise, they're in pretty good shape. Let's see, what is this? Steel case, Grand Rapids. This is a cool little chair right here. I don't know if this is like considered a sewing chair or what, but it's got storage in there in pretty good shape too. Gilbert and Ryan. Huh. Yeah, that's a cool piece. I apologize, it's probably hard to see a lot of these pieces because there's so much stuff stacked on top of everything. You really can't even get that good of a look at it. I like these lamps. I've got a couple lamps like this next door too, and they've got some rust to them, but you know, they're in okay condition, I guess, considering their age. You guys can hear the walls of the storage unit creaking. I don't know if somebody's walking around up there or what. Just the wind blowing. There's a nice rocking chair, and I've done pretty well selling rocking chairs over the years. They're in good condition, well made, solid wood. You can get $100, $200 for them, and then if it's something really special, you can get a lot more for it. And it has this really cool leather bird design here, and I don't remember what the maker is on this. I'm gonna have to try to turn it over and see who made this thing, but it's actually in pretty good condition. Got a lot of luggage in these units, and I know people use them for decoration. I think if they've got a nice color to them, it probably would do better. Maybe like this kind of cream white would go with some stuff, and it is a Samsonite. I just don't think they're worth a ton of money. Like this one right here is kind of like an ugly brown, and it's not in the best condition. Looks like you got it at Goodwill for $20, or if it was half off day, you might have paid 10 bucks for it. You guys might not be able to see them, but there's cabinets back there. There's a little one and 2 big ones underneath it, and those are actually made by the Crosley Radio Company. Crosley, you guys have probably heard me talk about that. Old Cincinnati company, made radios, TVs, all that stuff. And they owned the Reds for a number of years, and the old Reds field was called Crosley Field, and it actually has a sticker inside the cabinet that they're made by Crosley, so I think that'll help sell those. I really like this little table back here. It's hard to see. It's not very big. It's probably like 18 inches tall, something like that, and then like 14 inches wide, but it just got a really cool look to it. Got a handful of trunks in here. This one's still got a lock on it. I don't know if he's got the combination for it or what. It says camp chest. He was asking $45 for it. Looks like it was handmade. Old flathead screws. So I don't even know if this thing is going to be functional. Yeah, I don't even think you can open it. I think it's just going to be totally decoration. You can't store anything in there. So that's a bummer. Here's an old folding picnic chair. This thing is really cool. It's even got wood panels. Unfold this thing. Let's let you guys take a look at it. It's in pretty good shape. Might be hard to find a maker on here. Here's a really old school desk. That's actually the first time I've seen this. It's got a cast iron base on it. It says Cleveland. And then over here it says T. Cundance, Cleveland, Ohio, 5 and 6 RB. Oh, that's cool. And then up here it says Eclipse. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's pretty dark in here, but that is a really interesting piece. It's a nice lampshade back here, but it's getting crushed by this end table. I'm gonna try to pull that out of here. This guy was creative with how he had stuff stored to maximize the space, but I'm worried the way he did it, he kind of damaged some pieces. Here's a nice chair I just pulled out. Some really nice detail to it. Fortunately, the guts underneath are just busted. So this definitely needs a reupholstery job. A couple more lamps back in there. Those look to be in a little bit better condition. This red wire rack, I'm not totally sure what that's for. Croquet, maybe? I don't know. That's it for this storage unit, guys. Check out my website below. I'm going to be doing a lot of wholesale lots of this stuff, because if I try to sell every piece individually, it will take me years and years to sell all this, and I really don't want to do that. Also, if you live locally to Cincinnati, shoot me an email. Email is down in the description below. Feel free to come on here, take a look through this stuff, and buy some of it and just take it off my hands. I've got one more storage unit to go through. I'm going to do a deep dive and show you guys what's in there, and that is the big one. It's 20 foot by 30 foot, so it's going to take me a little while to get it to where I can even walk through the thing and show you guys everything, but I'm really excited to show you. Look for that video tomorrow, and if you're watching this far in the future, I'll put a link down below for all the videos for these storage units that I bought. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.